Be like, you guys are amazing, and now you can't see the battle because I'm typing so much. You suck. Guys, game 2 of this best of 3 series will be on Cactus Valley. JimRising up 1-0 and really wants to move on to the round of 16 with ByRada. Oh yeah. It's the time filler. I don't even need to talk.
Okay.
People will just watch me dance.
Right, you were on
Oh,
a team. You were on a team with JimRising. Really?
oh
Am I
no, he's
allowed to
not.
talk?
You left the lobby. Something went weird. Oh man, you ruined my dance time. Ah.
I was trying to give you more dance time. Shh.
It is one-on-one. Everything is correct from what I see, guys. Loading into game 3. Here we have Zeal and JimRising. Here's the loading screen. I always wondered where JimRising came from. Or, because I guess to him it's like him rising. It's not really JimRising. He speaks Spanish, but, we'll have to see. I'm not even joking. Like, anytime I think about that, I'm like, it's like him rising. Like, he's rising. I feel like I just had a little pot of gold right there. But would you take us in, Senor Kaboosh?
Sure. In the top right, we have the Red Zerg taking that last game in a fairly convincing fashion. One game away from moving on to the round of 16. It is JimRising.
And his opponent in the bottom left-hand corner, the gold Protoss player, it is Zeal. Currently down 0-1 and tried to make a 2-base play work. Actually, no, on this map, I think he tried to make a 3-base play almost work and then kind of failed out of that. We'll see again, though. He did like weird sentry build.
The fake 2-base all-in into a third base into Dynamutas.
Into loss of third base, yeah, and into Dynamutas. Definitely always have to worry about that. Zeal, though, as usual, plays a little bit greedy, but he hasn't quite been punished for it yet. Pylon on the low ground, hopefully with a gate. I doubt we'd see Forge. Just too far away to actually scout that. But JimRising, always sad, with the cross spawns, will get the incorrect first scout.
Yes, that was unfortunate for him.
Hopefully, though, JimRising will want to take this, even though it's him versus Zeal again. He did have to go through ByRada, sadly losing 2-1 in that situation. Actually, was it 2-0? You know, it was 2-1 versus ByRada, so definitely does not want that same thing. He wants to move on and keep his pro sports in the career. Keep his pro sports in the career. Wow, DrennoC. Keep his esports career going. Zeal will once again go for the gate on the low ground, which as usual could be punished, but this time JimRising, unlike the first series, will not be opening up spawning pool first, or at least pool first into hatch, and we'll just go hatch first. Maybe even do a quick third. We'll have to see here.
Yeah, Zeal is a big fan of this low ground gateway. I feel like there's some way that JimRising could punish this if he picked up on that he was doing this so frequently, or maybe he just doesn't want to risk it. Maybe he feels that as long as he can identify the 2-base all in and hold it, he'll be in a good spot.
Maybe on cross spawns, but the issue is, does the Protoss player get double gas to throw down a quick cyber? And it's a big gamble. In some situations, you're just 100% walled off. They got a zealot and can't really do anything versus them, sadly.
That is true. I guess especially on this map, because the choke is so narrow, really easy to wall off.
Exactly, yeah. Zeal for now, or sorry, JimRising, or Zeal, whatever. Whoever we're looking at right now, guys, Zeal will be doing that double gas right off the bat. Pretty standard. I kind of want to say he's going to go into Stargate, even though it's a really weird prediction. And I know I predicted that in a previous game, but probably not. May culminate in that.
We have Spectrum in the chat explaining JimRising's name. He said Jim came from his first name, Jaime, and he put rising because he was improving a lot and felt like he was a rising star.
I totally read that name like a weird Jamie. Jaime? Jamie?
Yeah, I read it like that too, and then I just I think in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, he's from Mexico. It's pronounced like that, I think.
Well, either way, he is rising. He's a great fella.
The statement was followed by a lot of foreheads.
I feel like either we look really lame saying Jaime, or if we say like Jamie, everyone will be like, wow, you don't know anything. And there's the Stargate from Zeal. I feel good about that prediction because all that matters is my predictions, and that's kind of somewhat of StarCraft 2.
Yeah,
JimRising,
I don't think we've seen Zeal go for a Stargate yet in this series, at least as an opener.
I just gotta say, I predicted JimRising quick third hatch. I feel pretty good about this right now because generally I'm like 100% wrong. Like I'll be, oh, he's gonna go blink. Oh, he threw down the DT shrine. Never mind, never mind. So that's my experience with predictions right here. And actually, the Phoenixes, this may buy enough time for Phoenixes or Oracles to do damage through this build.
I think that Stargate's going to be for carriers.
Carriers, I would love. I would agree with you if this was Legacy of the Void. Kaboosh. There's the Oracle. You know what would be even better? It's like one base he throws down. He throws down after the Stargate. He totally just goes for the Fleet Beacon. And then I was like, yeah, carriers. Like one base carrier brush. What is wrong with it? A little bit of a Roddy hashtag build. Hashtag Roddy build.
So this Oracle looks like it's going to fly right through the two Overlords. Won't get scouted till unless it flies on the watchtower range.
Yeah, it looks very nice positioning from Zeal. Will just barely kind of skirt around that. Still may hit. It still is going to go Overlord if it falls through the current path, but it'll only be giving JimRising maybe 5 extra-ish seconds, a little bit more at this third base for the defense. No spores up yet, but JimRising, he's got his lair on the way. He's got a Roach Warren and +1 missile, so it could very well complement Hydra's.
Yep, gonna get a few kills here. 3, 4, 5. 5 kills? 5 kill Oracle, not bad.
Definitely is nice on 3 bases. Just putting down your opponent a little bit, not quite allowing them to get into that production cycle where they're on 3 bases, they have all the drones they need, and they can just start pumping out mass Roach Hydra, so delaying it, even for the slightest couple seconds. JimRising, do we see do we actually see Spire going down next for him? And I like it a lot, but Zeal's already got his tools. We'll just see if he actually makes the Phoenixes out of that. For now, though, double Oracle. Oh, one Oracle barely does go down. Won't quite survive. Still, though, these Oracles may be able to see the spine at the natural base.
And Zeal doing something very uncharacteristic from the series. He's taking the third base, and the Oracles are keeping, or they were keeping Zeal ahead. Jim's pulling back in count, or back ahead in the worker count.
I think Zeal is going, actually he's taking a third base as I say that, but I think he will be making kind of a Void Ray Zealot Sentry-ish push. Sometimes we've seen it, it's a little bit early, or a little bit more reminiscent of early Heart of the Swarm to see something like this, but it still can do damage and take your opponent off guard. The thing here, though, is Spire is going to be done by the time this thing attacks, and does Zeal know about JimRising? No, he does not know about the Spire, so even with these very aggressive Oracles getting a decent amount of damage done, so far 9 kills, Zeal's playing blind and does pump out 1 Void Ray just to be careful versus Roaches, I presume now. +1 is on the way, and Twilight Council will be done in a couple seconds.
Yeah, we'll see what he decides. He goes for Blink here with this this Twilight. So he is going to be in a very good spot to deal with the Mutas if JimRising keeps committing to them. He has a Stargate, he can pump Phoenix, and he's going to have Blink Stalkers. And eventually +2. So that's basically all you really want to deal with some Muta harass. And if he can shut this down, he's going to be in a really nice spot here.
Hallucinated Phoenix of Zeal may actually see the Mutas. It does. Beautiful. We'll spot those Mutas, and maybe we're going to see Phoenixes. Yeah, we do see the Phoenix production up for Zeal. He knows where the Mutas are coming from in this kind of top angle. Third base has Stalker Sentries. Main base is throwing down some cannons. I'm presuming the Mothership Core will hang out between the natural and the main for the Foot Overcharge. Still, though, JimRising on a 4-player map, he's been allowed to get the economy he wants. He's got +2 range and +1 missile attack. Everything's looking so good for JimRising, and Zeal, he won when he was incredibly aggressive off 2 bases, and he's switching it up. I don't know if it's the best idea, but maybe he favors it on Cactus Valley. Actually, no, Iron Fortress.
JimRising's going to catch these cannons right before they finish. He's not going to choose to engage them. The Photon Overcharge...
Oh, the Mama Core will... Oh, Mama Core does go down, providing no defense for the natural base.
It does go down, but so many Mutas have gone down as well. These Phoenix are making micro perfectly, killing quite a few mutas. They had a bunch of photon overcharge shots as well, so they were pretty weak. And he
Two
got, like,
Phoenixes.
4 or 5 mutas there.
Two Phoenixes will kill the 3 mutas, but now they're just going to be able to pick off even more as JimRising retreats up the top right-hand corner. And for now, I mean, JimRising is just going to try to not really put pressure, but he's got these lanes set. The 2 Phoenixes pick up, well, how many mutas was that? That was like 7 or 8 mutas 2 Phoenixes entirely themselves dealt with. For now, though, as I was saying, JimRising on the left-hand side is just trying to keep Lings out, trying to put some pressure on, and Zeal is getting into a little bit of a formidable area where he's been uncontested for a very long time. It's the 13-minute mark.
I like how he's hallucinating 2 Phoenix at a time, so it looks like the real Phoenix, and the Hydras are going nuts trying to kill him.
Hydra range will be done in a few seconds for JimRising, allowing just a little bit better of a defense, and he is on 4 bases. He does have a very nice worker lead. 14 workers, not too much, and actually, I think Zeal may have made just a little bit too many workers.
He's probably at about the sweet spot right now.
Yeah.
To stop. He's a little bit oversaturated on his 3rd base, but if he does move into a 4th, that's going to be fine.
Or if he saturates his main or natural properly, he'd be fine. Either way, he is kind of looking to posture to move out in this top left-hand side 5th base of JimRising, and this has been the first game of any of these series that's kind of headed to the more macro stage, but these Hydras actually will pick up 2, maybe 3 kills. Beautifully, they just, right place, right time right there. Those Hydras give themselves a high 5. Or I guess a high claw, really.
They have a big stalker push out though from Zeal. And he's going to look to try to cancel this 5th base here from Jim.
+2 with Blink is looking pretty good for Zeal. This 5th base isn't too important for JimRising, and actually may be some sort of, not necessarily a thought-out bait, but it may bait Zeal into the wrong position. No aggressive Blink goes down, though. Ant just canceled the hatch, even doesn't quite cancel the extractor, but nice force fields will sadly only catch 1 Roach for now. JimRising retreats as a nice force, and I'd like to see him take another 5th base in the bottom right-hand corner, because he's got the army, he just needs to get into a better position. This map, Iron Fortress, is definitely hard to get into. It's hard to actually be able to get into good positions against your opponents. Sorry, Cactus Valley. I keep saying the wrong map.
So we're seeing adrenal glands here, and this is really strange. Not because nobody ever gets adrenal glands, but because there are no Zergling attacks. Their +1 has not been researched yet for melee. So I feel like if he's going to invest in adrenal, it would probably be best to invest in the +1 as well. But that could just be an oversight on the part of Jim.
Mutas pick up a total of 15 kills. A little bit of that Muta remax not anticipated at all by Zeal. No Phoenix is out of the map, and he's going for the kill, but oh, this is really big if JimRising cancel his 4th base. There is 16 larvae, 1,500 minerals, so maybe basically JimRising is solidifying a little bit better of a remax, but oh, this army, this could be really big here. Like game 2, Zeal will get a beautiful force field, keeping the entirety of JimRising's army out, and Zeal can keep doing this. If that's what JimRising does, he's going to have to go all the way around or camp out at this 3rd base. Both the Evo Chambers and the Roach Warning can go down. JimRising trying to go up again. Are the force fields good? JimRising is staying very cautious, and no, decent force fields here, but with the +1 range, JimRising will be able to hit a decent amount of the Zeal's army. Zeal trying to reinforce, but there's no proxy pylons, no nothing, and Stalkers are coming 1 by 1 across the map. Mutas in the middle will be cleaning up some of these pylons, but I'd like to see them with the main army.
Yeah, this is probably one of the best engagements Zeal could have hoped for, but I think there just might be too much here for Jim. The Hydra is getting cleaned up at the 3rd base, but more coming from the back. And they're just going to clean up all these Stalkers, and the Mutas are going to come in to catch the retreating army.
And this is where the sort of cracklings, not totally cracklings, but almost crackling. It's I don't know. It's not quite as worse as crack. We'll just go potlings. They're just potlings. The potlings do a decent amount of that. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something that's not. I don't know, man. DTs. 5 DTs actually will be able to rebuke this attack. JimRising has to retreat from here. No Overseer is currently with the main army. But still, he pretty much destroyed the entire attack right there, and most of the tech. The 4th base did get down for Zeal, but it only has a couple workers at it, and now it's kind of evened out. But JimRising is playing really well, and now is just going to push across the map with the faster remax and the Overseer ready.
Going back to that comment, I feel like caffeine lings would be a better analogy.
Caffeine, I agree. You can tell how much I know about drugs with that statement. But yeah, caffeine lings definitely would be a better point. Coffee lings, maybe coffee. I like coffee lings. It sounds nice.
That sounds like a nice skin for the Zerlings, but we have a big engagement coming down at the third base.
Very nice concave for JimRising, but it's not quite coming in the right time. There they are coming to the right-hand side. More Hydras for JimRising. Guys, this is game 2 of a best-of-3 series, and JimRising is up 1. The Stalkers are actually on a convex here, and JimRising with a beautiful concave will push through, going 2-0, and